Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do LIGHTOS. So I did this before, but I'm going to be doing a remastered one now, and I'll explain this more in depth with a lot more knowledge. So, what we have here is a 2020 Ford Explorer, and I will be giving you guys this model that has everything you're going to need to make your first police car. Alright? So, with this now, what we have here is this light bar, and with this light bar, we're going to be dragging it into our outfitting. Alright, so we put this in outfitting, and the car that I sent you guys and made for you already has everything you need. It has the pickup and siren control, and has the body with the light bar, and it has all your folders, which this vehicle has as well. All the folders, and the middle and middle one. These middles are for the sirens, and these siren IDs are the sound that plays. So for example, if I press the air horn, and then I go to whale, see that's the sound, and that's the sound ID. Alright, and yeah, so now that I have the light bar under outfitting, we're going to take out the lights that are in it. So there's mostly going to be separated into three different categories: front, rear, and side. And that's what we have over here as well: front, rear, and side. And these are where the lights are supposed to go. So with the light bar, with the front, shows all your front lights. So I take these parts and then hold right click, drag them to the front. And if you're wondering how I took all those, you just click on this one, hold shift, and press the one at the top, and then boom, they all select. Okay, so now that we have all our lights, we're gonna rename them. And when you're naming your parts, make sure you name them in order, so it'll make your patterns look a lot sharper, and it'll make your life easier knowing what you're actually turning off and on when you're in the scripts. So we're gonna name this one F1, and then let's look for F2, F3, F4, F5, and then F6. Alright, so now we have all our parts named. So what we're going to do is going to create a script, and we're going to rename it to front LB, aka front light bar. So now I'm going to take this right here, and you guys can just pause the video here, take a sec to copy this. But all this does right here is this right here sets what lights are flashing with the script. So it has to be the right category with what this says. So if it says dot front, it's in dot front. And if you put your lights and script into the rear side, you just gotta change this dot front to like dot rear, alright? Or like dot side. But we're gonna keep it dot front because we're in the front category. So what this is, we don't even need this right now. All this says is color changing, and we don't need to be using that right now. I'll make a separate video in the future on how to change your light color patterns without having to add extra lights to make the colors change. And what these do is they set your color. So it says local red is color 3 from RGB is red, blue, white, yellow. And then I have another white, but yeah. Okay, so now we can get into the scripting. So first thing you want to do, if script dot parent dot values dot on dot value equals 1, then. So that's the first line of code. So now what we do is we do ve dot f1 dot lighto dot enabled equals false, and we just keep going down like that. So now we do ve dot f2 dot lighto dot enabled equals false, and then ve dot f3, ve dot f4 dot lighto dot enabled equals false, and you just go on to all the way till you're done coding with that pattern. So you go all the way to the last one. Alright, so now we have all 6 in. So now what we have to do is we have to write else if. Alright, so what this else if indicates is else if the value is 2, then it'll do this pattern. So when you're saying if, it only has to be for the first stage of the type of pattern you're scripting, and then else if has to be 2 and 3, etc. Alright, so now we do else if script dot parent dot value, parent dot values dot on dot value equals 2 then, and now we can just press enter again, we take what we had here from stage 1 and we're just going to copy it here. And now we're going to give it a little pattern. So with F1 we're going to make true, and what this true and false indicates is if the lights are on or off. On or off. Alright, and that's pretty self-explanatory, as you can see. So true, F1 and F2 are enabled, and the rest are off. So now we're going to do a wait time of 0.8 seconds. Alright, and it'll keep it nice and slow for the front. So we're going to copy this right here, Control C, enter, Control V. So now we have the same line of code, but now instead of these being true, we're going to change it to false. So now they're both being false, and as you can see, this end up here was true. So that means when we're down here, these two have to be true, and these two have to be false. These have to be false because if they were still true, it would be on the whole time during the pattern, and only the bottom half would flash. So now we just do true and true. So that's stage 2, back and forth, 0.8 second wait time between the different pattern. Now we do else if script.parent.parent.values.on.value equals 3 then. So now that we're on stage 3, we're going to have this sort of pattern. Alright, so it just goes from 1, 2, 3. Now we can do something a little more complicated. So we're going to do for loop equals 1, 3 do. Now what this signifies here with the 1, 3 do is the 3 is how many times that pattern will flash, that same rhythm, before it changes. So for example, we're going to take these right here with all false, and we're going to make half of them true. Okay? Just like so. And then now we're going to do 0.05 wait time. So we're going to write wait, and then in brackets 0.05. Now we copy this, and since we're going to make this strobe, we are going to make all these values false for the second half. So false, false, false. So not only the top 3 are true, and now that these are false, so it'll go true, false, true, false, true. So that means it flashes this way 3 times. Okay? Now we copy this whole for loop thing here. Press enter twice just to make your script look clean, and then you paste it. Alright, so it's the same line of code, except now that these ones were true, just like in stage 2, we changed them to false. And now we make the bottom 3 true. So true, true, true. Okay? So now your strobe is done, but now we have to write an else. So all you do is press enter, backspace, else, and in else all of the lights are false. This is because when the patterns are done, after you press 3 the 4th time, it'll turn off. So that's what the else is for. So they're not on after you're done with the patterns. So now you are done scripting with your lights. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press play here and test our script. Okay. And this Ford Explorer actually comes with opening doors, so I wanted to bless you guys with some high quality model. Just cause why not? And it's got turn signals, headlights, brake lights, yeah, whatever. All the things you need. So go turn on bloom on. And as you can see, only the back light bar is on because we wrote the else on the front and we scripted it. So when you press play and they're off, that's usually a good sign. So if we come in here, if we press J once, okay, let's just let this car start up. So if we press J once, nothing. Press J again. See? Back and forth flash, just like we coded. See, it's just simple back and forth, wait at 0.8, and it's only the ends flashing. Now, if we press J again, see? Strobe's back and forth, just like we coded. 3 times on each side. 103, 103, 103. See? Each side. So, that's how you'd script the front of the light bar. And it's the same way everywhere else. So if you did some grill lights, it would be dot front at the top of the script, and you'd rename your parts to something other than F. And then the sides, you could do just dot side and then script that. Name your parts once again, and it just applies everywhere. So the dot front, dot side, dot rear just depends where you've placed your lights and in what model. Alright, so if you guys do have any questions, you can join my Discord server, which I will be linked down below, as well as this Ford Explorer right here. And it has everything you guys will need. And yeah, you have your sirens too. Yep, it's pretty cool, eh? And then, yeah. So I will also give you guys this light bar, exact same light bar, with that car. And I'll give you guys some ions to get some work done. And show me your creations in the showcase channel. And yeah, just comment questions or DM me on Discord, join my server. And I will see you guys in the next tutorials where I'll be teaching you how to do even more things with the ELS.